Hey everybody, this is Trade Formula on Friday, and it's the 21st, 4 days before Christmas. I thought I'd give a really quick update of what I suspect is going to happen with Ripple over the next, let's say during the Christmas break up until about the 26th. So here we have the 4-hour chart, and let's zoom in just a little bit. We'll take actually a closer look at, let's say, the 1-hour time frame. And we have some interesting pattern here. We're making, for the most part, higher highs and higher lows for a little while until we have a lower high right here. We start making still a higher low and then a lower high again, and it's kind of pinching into this pattern. Now, one thing I noted is that we actually broke it right here. That was an indication of what I believe to be what's to come. And then we didn't quite touch either of these lines of resistance. In fact, the move failed prematurely and we broke this line of support. Now, right now, we're kind of sitting on this support. We've broken that as well, both places, as there have been some touches periodically throughout. However, it's now broken. And so I personally tend to believe that right now, on a smaller time frame, on the 5-minute, we're definitely seeing higher highs, lower highs and lower lows, right? There's a high, a low, a lower high than previous, a lower low than previous, lower high than previous, lower low than previous, so on and so forth. And so we'll see. Even on a smaller time frame, on the 1-minute, I bet we're pretty much maxed out. Yep, on the stochastic right here. This is telling me, and we're also starting to move downwards. I think this is the turning point in which it starts to break down. So actually, let's go ahead and enter a bearish trade right now in a short position. There he is. It broke it again. So I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to make my stop really, really tight. Let's actually move it up just a little bit, like to right there. And let's make it our time frame, and we're going to pull this way down. Because I think we're going to be hitting this mark at about 33.5 cents. So that would be my bet. I didn't think we'd be actually doing this so soon. And that risk to reward is going to be really good. That should be 9.25. So I like that. That's a pretty good move. If you're using leverage, that's what I would do. And then, like I said, I believe we're going to be seeing about 33.5 cents. Let's move it there. That brings it to a little over 9.5. So that would be what I would anticipate would happen. I kind of wanted to get this in and memorialize it here for everybody. So anyway, I don't think we're gonna be seeing much beyond that. Why? Why are we going to do that? Now, first of all, one troubling thing is that on the 15, we are beginning to move upwards. So you might want to enter wait and see what it does if it moves upwards more. I just don't know, though. I don't think we're going to see it. I think we are going to see a drop down to this lower line of support. I also think that the daily warrants it. See how we got all this noise here. Let me click out of that. I think the daily warrants it because we saw a slightly overbought position and now we're beginning to move downwards. We have a red candle and we're coming down off that. Also on Fridays, we tend to not see a whole lot of positive price action. Rarely do we ever see that because, hey, there's not going to be any announcements about some big, Ripple partner on Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon. So it's not going to happen. I do think this is a relatively safe trade. I also think that on the 4-hour, we're in a downwards trend right now. The main thing is for me, we broke it here big time, and now we are really quite in the trade. I saw it just tick down a little bit more, so we're on our way. So this is a pretty solid move, and you could probably even stand to once we do see a lower high, which I anticipate it's probably going to hit up against this, and it's going to serve as resistance instead of support in the future. That will be a good place to pull your stop down to if you want to once it does that move going downwards. Now, for the bulls, here are my thoughts about what we should expect in the future. I do think that we might, if we don't go down straight away, it's so annoying that when I hover over that, it makes that big mark. But anyway, I do think it could do some noise up in here, and if it did push upwards, it might come up to this point and then go down. Ultimately, I do think we're going to hit on this primarily because that was a point of consolidation over here. Notably, what I'm trying to say is that how do you turn on the marker here where you can just draw something? Here we go, the big marker. So I think it'd be plausible if we see something like this. Look at this. It looks like a head and shoulders. And then where will it go from here? Well, maybe up to 51 cents, maybe up to there, which is 57 cents, if you see that ties in with this. Or it's also plausible that we might even see something bigger than that. And I believe ultimately it will lead back up to 75 cents or so. From there, it is very safe to say that we have ended the bearish trend, and we're now in a very bullish move. Additionally, when we do have that right shoulder touchdown, wherever that is, and maybe I should actually, I should take it off of the marker. All right, so if we were to actually pull this out, that might be a better idea to really encapsulate all of that move. So I believe that we could see an inverse head and shoulder right here. I think that's very plausible, and we could just be seeing the right shoulder of that right now, and then we'll see the remainder of it go from there. As I said, at that point, we've broken all of these bearish lines of resistance, and I think also just being that it's the Christmas weekend and week, we're definitely not going to see any announcements seriously until that's over, that's concluded. So maybe some New Year announcements. It might even drag on as long as this, quite possibly, or even dip lower. I mean, we could see touch around this area, quite possibly. We had it here, so is it plausible? I think it is. Let's actually draw a line in there, right over that. And so, I mean, if we did go lower than that, I would put like some kind of trailing stop on right here, because we might even go as low as this. I think that's very plausible, as low as 31 cents. I don't see it going much lower than that, though. But hey, we'll see, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope this is helpful. Let's zoom in on the 1 minute one more time. And this will be the test for me. So we had a high up here with this. What will, when we're maxed out on the slow K again, is that higher than the previous one? Is it lower than it? We are seeing a little bit of a pullback from bulls, but ultimately I think probably this is going to be a little bit of a bearish, 4 or 5 days. 10% is not nothing, so if you were to make that move, I think that's plausible. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.